Tubers, family and friends, got a good one for you today. There is a lot of scuttlebutt on the internet about Social Security benefits from the United States right now because there's a lot of expats in the Philippines. So we're going to get into it and talk about that today. And welcome back to the channel. My name's Edward. I live in northwestern Mindanao, the island of. And the reason I choose this place is God sent me here 10 years ago. I've been married to a Filipina 10 years and have a child, Filipino child, half, right? So at birth, he became dual citizen. You just have to prove it. And that's what we did here last week in Cebu City. All the proof went to the U.S. consulate in Cebu to obtain his CRBA, which is your certificate of birth abroad. So these are all the things you have to do if you're an expat and want to have your new family without a threat of divorce in a marriage to a Filipina in the Philippines. And that's a big reason why I'm here too, and a lot of you guys are too, because you're tired of for any reason, drop of a hat, that your wife in the West can divorce you and take more than half of what you have earned your whole life and destroy your entire family and all the years that you put into building a family. It's all destroyed in an instant by the greed of this terrible, terrible, terrible law of divorce in the West and the greed of the lawyers that coax women into this thing. It's just terrible. And that's why God bless the Philippines. I love the Philippines. But let's get into the subject today. U.S. Social Security. Now, there's lots of fear out there, fear mongering from channels, and they're all worried about what Trump and Elon gonna do, or if aliens are gonna invade the world and stop their Social Security. Well, well, you know, it's just ridiculous. You can only control what you can control, and you can't control what a government is doing and any benefits that you get from them. So what should you do to not have fear? Well, the number one thing is surrender your life to Jesus Christ, because that's the only truth that there is in the entire world. And that's the only way you're never going to have fear again in death or in this life. But the next thing that you can do to have no fear on the whiteboard, be self-sufficient. Have multiple income streams. A lot of people, right? YouTube, that's multiple income stream for some people. Another one is rent. You know, have a building that you're renting to other people. I mean, there's so many ways that you can have multiple income streams coming in other than your Social Security. Some people still have stocks or bonds or you know, whatever, businesses on the side, producing and selling things, just like what we do here, you know. And that's number 4, is we have a home base here now in a rural and remote homestead with defenses in the Philippines in a remote area. And it's a homestead. We grow all vegetables. We have our own fruit trees. We have a flock of chickens now. We produce eggs. We're not completely where we want to be, but that's the big start of what you need to do to become self-sufficient. And we're also starting a herd of cattle. So that's more of a long term. It takes a long time to build up your cattle herd and to put all your fencing in, to buy your land, blah, blah, blah. It's a work in progress, right? What else are you going to do in your retirement? Just sit around, watch TV, and eat food your whole life? Well, it's going to shorten your life real fast. You can't sit around. You got to be busy. You got to be working projects, doing things. Don't ever stop moving, because when you do that, your health is going to go down fast. So next item here, I mean, I can't believe all the Social Security, because it causes fear to people, right? And that's why all these videos are online. You can't have fear, guys. You know, trust in the Lord. He'll guide you. And then just do the common sense things of being self-sufficient, right? Producing your own things, having a savings, 1 year to 6 months of savings, food stocks, cash savings, gold, Gold is a big one here in the Philippines, guys, because all of Southeast Asia, including China, all the way to India and Saudi Arabia, you name it, the whole Eastern world revolves around gold. And I'm not kidding you on that, guys. Currencies are useless, worthless pieces of paper that are promises from governments. Well, we all know the lies and the corruption in governments. So the only way you can have a real, true savings is have physical gold in your possession. If you don't, you're missing the boat big time on protecting yourself and your family. So here's the next one here. Is the reason why a lot of people are fearing so much right now is because of this DOGE, right? DOGE, number 5, right? And that's Elon Musk, Department of Government Efficiency, that stands for. And he's saying he can maybe save 1 to 2 trillion per year by all the cuts and corruption and payoffs and all the bad things that are going on in government programs and government agencies. And he just shut down this right here, this U.S. aid. He shut it down because it's unbelievable. I just heard some of the list of the things they were spending money on, and your mind would be blown of the waste and the corruption and undocumented payouts in the millions, hundreds of millions, and sometimes billions through these agencies that are unbelievably ripping off our country of the United States and ripping off the people of the United States. So my hope, under number 5, my hope is that Elon and Trump shut down all government non-essential agencies and programs, all of them. Shut them all down. Let people out there rely on their own selves to survive. But the one thing they can't shut down, obviously, is Social Security. Medicare, it's really not needed, guys. I mean, if you care about your own health, you'll do what's right for your own health and your own body. And you will have a cash savings, like everyone's responsible for their own savings and their care for yourself and your family. You know, let your Social Security checks double in size by Elon cutting all the rest of government, and then double the size of the payouts going to the people, untaxed payouts in Social Security. That's the way it should be. You paid you paid a tax that didn't apply to you your entire life, and now you need to reap the benefits of what you have paid in. So they can't touch Social Security, and I'm hoping that if they eliminate all the non-essential government agencies and programs in the U.S. government, that they can double the size of the checks going out to the people with no tax involved with it, just pure cash. Then people will have the ability to pay all their medical and anything they want to do with the money. And that's the way it should be, guys, not government controlling every little tiny thing that you paid in on for your whole life. So that's my hope and prayer of what happens, that all the government agencies get shut down except for Social Security, and that includes Medicare and Medicaid. That's just a boondoggle for these HMOs and the medical industry. There's another complete rip-off institution that's happening in the world and in our country right now. So get rid of it all. Next one there, number 6, adopt a national sales tax. Now, they're going to lose the budget right now, unbelievably, guys, is around $7 trillion a year. I mean, that shows you how inflation is skyrocketing. I mean, even in the early 2000s, like 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, it was right around $1 trillion. So it's 7 times on the yearly budget since 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago at the most. So, I mean, it's craziness, guys. So if they can reduce government like in half, let's say down to between 3.5 and 4 trillion from 7 trillion right now, right, guys? Then what's going on right now is the income tax pays for about half of that. So if they eliminate the income tax, which in reality, guys, and I've learned this over years and years, and you should do your own research, but I know what the truth is about the income tax. I've read all the original manuscripts of the Supreme Court cases concerning the income tax when it came out in 1913. And guess what? The Federal Reserve came out in 1913 too, guys. Ding, 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 clue, clue, clue. It's a scam. The whole income tax is a great tax because you know what it does? It is only applies to government employees, government contractors, and residents of U.S. territories. That's the only thing the income tax is applied to. You are not liable if you're a resident of one of the 50 states or if you do not work for a government agency. You are not liable. And see how the automatic withholding tax of your paycheck is so illegal, guys? This is what has happened over the years. The common man of your labor, it's unconstitutional. Even when, and look it up, guys, do your own research. I've done it for years, probably 25 years of research. And over the last 10 years, I haven't paid a dime into it, right? You know why? Because I know what the truth and what the law is now. So you need to do your research, guys. Don't believe me. There's a ton of resource out there. Find it. The only thing I can say to you is there's so much misinformation and lies, it's unbelievable, right? Follow the money. Follow the money. Do your own work. That's the problem with most Americans. They're lazy. They won't do the work and the research to find out what the real truth is. So if they eliminate everyone out of you can opt out. That's what I did, right? It's congressional law. I opt out of the income tax system over 10 years ago. Why? Because I don't apply. What I did my whole life does not apply to me. And if you're on Social Security, that's completely untaxed, guys. They cannot tax you on that. You guys need to wake up. This is why you guys have all this fear. You got to find the truth. And then you got to plant your feet in the ground and stick to the truth. And that's why I'm saying the income tax number 8 is good, guys, because it applies only to government employees, government contractors, and residents of U.S. territories. So the IRS can stay in the U.S., but it only applies to those 3 things. So you can reduce the IRS down to just bare bones minimum just to police the government. And you know why the government employees, the income tax applies to them? Because they have a privileged job. There's no layoffs in the government. It's very rare to have, and especially these government contractors are making billions off the U.S. government. And why? It's a privileged situation, big time for them, right? The automatic government payments coming in constantly to them. That's why they all need to be taxed. And an internal government tax. That's why it's called the Internal Revenue Service. It's internal to the government, guys. And the U.S. territories, U.S., that's the clue. Those territories like Guam, Puerto Rico, District of Columbia, those are U.S. territories owned and controlled by the government. They need to be taxed by the income tax, which was created for those things, for these privileged jobs from the government, right? That the private sector, that doesn't apply. Doesn't apply to the whole. Do your own research, guys. I talk till I'm blue in the face, and you get thousands of comments of people because all they do is listen to what other people told them. That's another laziness of people because they don't read. I've read thousands of documents, of government documents, Supreme Court, transcripts of court cases applies to the income tax after the income tax came out in 1913. Please, guys, do yourself a favor. And hopefully Trump is going to stop all this anyways in Elon. And then with the addition of the sales tax, the national sales tax, guys, that's going to make up the shortfall of the $3 trillion that's left in the budget. And it should easily have a surplus, plus with the increased tariffs, sale and national sales tax, and cut government, 60 to 70%. Cut it all, except for Social Security. And double what Social Security is going to the people. That's what it should be, guys. And then this country has a wonderful outlook, because then from that time forward, even the young people, right, never have to pay any income tax anymore. Their income's gonna basically double overnight, and all this stuff is gonna wash out and be. You know, the reason why this corrupt system is the way it is because these evil, corrupt people in government all these years, they want all the money and the power to themselves. The Federal Reserve is the one that started it. They are this evil cabal, guys. Read into it. I've been read into it, and I know what it's all about. I mean, here's one of the books right here, guys. Bloodlines of the Illuminati. Read that, and you'll know where the Federal Reserve is coming from and how it controls this country and the government. So if Trump ends the Federal Reserve, it's the best thing that ever happened to this country. So good luck, guys, and please, no fear. Jesus is going to save your soul. No one else is. So no fear. Stay self-sufficient. Don't be worrying about Social Security anymore. Whatever happens, happens. It's out of your control. All you can do is save and be self-sufficient. So I love you guys with all my heart. Why? Jesus commands it, that we love one another. So I love you guys. Take care, and so long. God bless. Bye-bye.